I've had many memorable games, to be fair. So some of the Rangers games have been fantastic. I can't ever probably go past the cup final for the first treble in that season. Just the occasion, being unbeaten throughout the whole season, and then going into that, what had been the first treble for a number of years, and how we won it was special. And that, we had many great games at Man City games and Champions League and other games, but that there's the I would say the standout from the first spell. I enjoy golf and I enjoy travel. I'm not so good at golf, but I enjoy the participation element of it. So if I ever get the opportunity, which is rare, but I do enjoy a game of golf, and I love travel. I like to see new places and experience different cultures. So golf and travel would be the two main passions outside of football. I had many, however, the one I always say is Paul McStay, just purely because of his authority on the pitch, and when I look now, especially as a coach and manager, the personality that Paul played with in the game, and you always felt back then, whenever maybe Celtic were in a time whenever they maybe didn't have the funds that Rangers had and other teams, but he always stood up in the big games and he always showed the moments of quality and class, and for that I always say Paul. I think I enjoyed football. I wouldn't say I supported, other teams. I enjoyed watching teams when I was younger, and I always loved. I would say Barcelona was a club that I always enjoyed watching throughout my youth and growing into becoming a coach. But Celtic was always the one that where the feeling was different. I think just having the career that I've had up until this point, I entered into coaching with not a big playing background whatsoever. I was a talented youth player, but finished early. And I think my journey to be sat here today, everything I've had to go through to arrive here without the playing background makes me proud, and obviously makes me feel that's my biggest achievement. So hopefully I can continue with that. I'm entering into the best parts, and I think the really exciting part of my career now, this next decade or so, and hopefully I can continue to learn and develop in this period. Celtic is very much a family club. It really is. I think that everyone involved with Celtic works and does their best for Celtic. I know there's lots of clubs where you have staff that maybe go through the motions and maybe treat it maybe as like a big corporate business. But Celtic's not that. Celtic from inside the club is fantastic. Everyone does the very best to make Celtic the best they possibly can be on the field, and of course then the supporters run alongside that. The support, you travel like to Livingston a weekend, you get nearly 8,000 supporters there. It's just absolutely phenomenal, and there could have been another 8,000 outside. So for me, the club is a real family, and of course clearly a big part of that is the supporters. I think it would be coaching in some form, whether that was in a teaching format or whatever, or in business. I enjoy the coaching aspect. I enjoy the making people better and feel better. So it would have to be along that line. Very much so. I think obviously we had a real happiness here on and off the pitch, and I know my family are really looking forward to it. And of course we're trying to maximise now our time back here by going to things that maybe we took a little bit for granted the first time we were here. So yeah, they've settled in really well at school. Lola has, and Charlotte has made many friends up here. So that, along with my two older children, they like to come, and other family members come up to here. So yeah, it feels a really special place to be. Well, the game is constantly evolving. Now, if I think back over this last decade, where I was when I was at Swansea and where it's at now, the game is constantly changing. So as a coach, you have to continually look at the different trends within within football, the different systems, the different styles, without trying to complicate it. Well, I felt very privileged to be asked again. I think that there's probably not another club that would have taken me away from wanting to have a period out. But I'm so happy I came back, and obviously very, very proud to be asked to come back. And my motivation here to help the team and help the club succeed again, I'm very much driven to do that. So my ambition is very much for Celtic to be the best that we can be, and for the length of time that I'm here. I've been fortunate enough to have travelled the world and worked in some great stadiums. You know, the Celtic Ranger games are special atmospheres, of course. Anfield games, again, were special. I have to say, I played away at Besiktas in Istanbul when I was at Liverpool, and that was that atmosphere was so loud that I was only, say, a metre away from getting my interview on the pitch side 2 hours before the game, and I could hardly hear myself and hardly hear the lady who was asking me the question. So that atmosphere was really special. I think, again, just from a personal perspective, having someone of the talent of Paul McStay, and I look back to that midfield as well. You know, whenever Tommy played in there with Paul, and that was a really technical midfield. But I always say Paul McStay in lots of answers, just purely because of the quality and the genius that he had in the game, and the love that he showed when he played for Celtic. So to have someone like that in your team, that really inspires all the others. So I'd have to say again, Paul McStay. My favourite question was from Paul, in terms of how managers and coaches evolve, and so for that you've won a signed top, Paul, so congratulations. Hail, hail.